Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Monica Corrado here, the Gap Chef. This is Ask the Gap Chef. I do it every Tuesday morning, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have about the GAPS diet. So welcome. One more time with feeling. I am not a medical doctor, and probably everything I talk about has not been approved by the FDA. Okay, so my website is simplybeingwell.com. You're welcome to visit me there. You do have some free things that I've put on the page, which I'll continue to do. One is this. This is my GAPS intro diet chart. You are welcome to download this. It's two-sided and it tells you everything that you can do on stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of intro. All right, you also have a coupon for 15% off of this book, which is the book we use in the Certified GAPS Coach Training and the Certified GAPS Practitioner Training. So it's a required text to learn how to cook for the GAPS diet by Dr. Natasha and her training team. I'm on her training team. In any case, so here we are. All right, how are we looking? Pretty good. Welcome. Hello, Ashley. Woohoo! Ashley is on. Hello, Faria. Hello, Christina. Loving that you're in Lithuania. Love that part of the world. Hello, Mara. Good to have you and everyone else that's here. Okay, so for those of you who are new, I do this every Tuesday at this time. And please do visit the page. Tag me if you'd like me to see your posts. It's very helpful, or else I can lose them for 2 or 3 days. I don't know. They don't show up. Love to answer your questions online. So today I thought we would start talking about fat. Fat. Hello, Edil. Hope I said that right. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about fat. And why did I pick this? Well, I picked it because we talked about it a little bit last week. And I also picked it because I've seen some questions on our page and also on other GAPS pages about fat, what to do with it. So, hello, Joanna. Howdy. Hello, Allie. Hello. Okay, so what about fat? Let's talk first about the healthy fats. This is according to Dr. Natasha and the GAPS diet. Healthy fats are animal fats. So all of it, lamb, beef, bison, pork, cow, beef. What else? Poultry fat. So animals, birds, yeah, those fats are very, very healthy for you. So chicken fat, otherwise known as schmaltz. Duck fat, oh, delicious. Goose fat, really good. I'm mentioning those because that is the bulk of the fats you should be eating on the GAPS diet. Animal fats, fats that you get from making meat stock, where some people like to skim it off and then put it back in per serving, which is just fine. Some people just leave it in, which is just fine. But you're eating all the fat on your meat stock. Let me give you a bit of an exception. Lamb tends to have a lot of fat. So often I will skim that off and put it back in as I like, because it can be so fatty, the stock and the stews and the casseroles and everything else. So, okay, so where do you get it from? 1, your meat stock. 2, you can get it off of cuts of meat. So if you're hanging out either on the full GAPS diet or you're hanging out in stage 4 or further along in intro, you can get a nice piece of grass-fed and grass-finished meat that has a huge piece of fat on it. You can cut it off, and then you can melt it down. A lot of people, are afraid to eat that fat, the fat on the side of a steak, the fat on the side of a roast, the fat on the side of a nice piece of pork. People are afraid, and they're afraid because of the erroneous, right, heart hypothesis, which was put out by Ansel Keys back in a long time ago. I think it was the 60s. Anyway, if you have any questions, you, your spouses, your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, co-workers, doctors, give them this. Give them this. Put your heart in your mouth, because they will sit there and say, too much fat. Oh my God, you're going to clog your arteries. And Dr. Natasha will sweetly, kindly, very clearly say, no, you really won't. You're not going to clog your arteries if you are eating healthy animal fats. The fats that cause clogging of the arteries, folks, are vegetable fats. Woo. With the exception, pardon me, with the exception of olive oil, extra virgin, cold pressed, which we never heat on GAPS. We always use it cold for its antioxidant properties and its enzymes, right? We also can use coconut oil. Yes. Unrefined is best, of course. You can heat coconut oil, and coconut oil plays a large role in the GAPS diet. Those are your two main oils that do not come from animals. Other people have talked about red palm oil. As long as that red palm oil is sustainably grown and harvested and then extracted, right? Fats are really, really important, and they're also complicated. But right now we're talking about the ones that you can eat with relish, hopefully fermented relish. That's a joke. I hope you all got that. Okay, you can eat as much as you want. I'm going to talk about amounts in a moment. But you can eat them with abandon, and off we go, and you should be. So again, these are your healthy fats. All your animal fats, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. You can add in later things like avocado oil, though I personally am not an avocado oil fan, because if you think about it, how do they squeeze that oil out of that avocado? Makes me wonder. Anyway, that's another talk for another time. Yeah, so in any case, fats. Where do you get them from? Again, tying it up. You get them from your meat stock. It should, when you put your meat stock in the refrigerator, you should get a nice layer. Sometimes this big, sometimes this big, sometimes this big, but a nice layer of fat that you can almost pop off and melt down. You can get it from a piece of meat, and those fats are wonderful. You can get it from, you can make your own lard. Yeah, I hope everybody's making their own lard from pig fat. You get the piece of pork fat, and then you melt it down slowly. I have a recipe for that on my blog at simplybeingwell.com, how to do that. Pig fat, so you get pork fat, and then you melt it down for lard. You can also get what's called leaf fat. Those are my little, right? These are my little quotation marks that many of you are used to. Quotation mark. Yeah, this leaf fat comes from is the fat around the kidneys of the pig. Really, really high quality fat. Very good to get and melt down. Dr. Natasha talks a lot about the role of fats in both the yellow book and the blue book, and of course, red and green. But she talks about get yourself a goose, roast it, pour off the fat. Now you're not paying $14 or $16 or $18 a pint. You've got plenty of beautiful goose fat. You can do the same thing with the duck fat. Make it yourself. It's always better if you make it yourself anyway, right, folks? Cleaner, possibly. Certainly it's homemade, so it's not gone through a big, what do we call it? Industrial process, which would not be good for fats, right? So what else? Can you buy fat? Yes. You can buy fat from farmers. That's the raw fat that you can just get, pork fat, beef fat, kidney leaf fat, that's also pork. Sometimes you can get lamb fat from the farmer directly. You certainly can jump on US Wellness, grass-fed beef. They have beautiful fats. I love for people to check out Fields of Athenry Farm in Purcellville, Virginia. These are all, US Wellness is large, but the next two are quite small. Not quite, but they're small family farms. So Fields of Athenry, Athenry, in Purcellville, Virginia. White Oak Pastures in Georgia. They have wonderful things also. So look around, folks. You can get on eatwild.com and look for farms that you can get fat from directly. You can look at Miller's Biodiversity Farm. Make sure there's two different ones. So Miller's Biodiversity Farm is an Amish farm, really a co-op out of Pennsylvania. They have fats. Who else? And always, I am really encouraging you to look into or look on WestonAprice.org. Weston, W-E-S-T-O-N, Price.org. Look at Find Real Food or Find Food resources and find your local chapter and then find out what you can get locally. Really important to be supporting your local farmers first, if at all possible, if they have those things for you. All right. What else? Can you buy this in the store? Yes. Go to a natural food market near you. And there are a couple of brands, at least in the U.S. I'm not familiar with ones in Europe. The ones in the U.S. are Epic, E-P-I-C brand. There's another one called Fat Works, F-A-T Works, W-O-R-K-S. I'm not getting any affiliate income from any of these things I'm telling you, folks. I'm just offering resources for you, just to be clear. You can buy those in the store. So most stores, the same place you're going to find olive oil and coconut oil, they're usually all in the same place. So now that we've talked about which fats and where to get them, let's talk about how much to eat, shall we? Yes, yes, we shall. So again, lots of, what can I say? I'm trying to say unclarity. Woo! Looks like I need some more fat in my brain this morning. Okay, so lots of confusion or lots of, certainly not enough clarity. Let's just say not enough clarity out there about how much fat to be eating. So Dr. Natasha is clear in all of her books that we need to be, that you and I and everyone on GAPS need to be eating a lot of healthy fats, and we need to be eating them every day, and we need to be eating them with every meal. And oh, by the way, the more fat we eat, these are the healthy animal fats, plus coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil. The more we eat, the faster we will heal. Did everybody hear that? Did you hear that? I'm listening. Woo! The more fat we eat, the faster we will heal. Okay, let's do it, shall we? So what does that translate to? You're like, okay, Monica, so what? A lot of fat. I have to eat a lot of fat. So how much is a lot? Well, so what we're finding, we meaning GAPS practitioners, certified GAPS practitioners, are finding is that the more fat we eat, again, the faster people are healing, and that most adults these days, we're looking at 6 to 8 tablespoons of fat a day. That's additional to what you're cooking in. So that means you cooked a lovely something, and then you take a tablespoon of butter and you put it on there. Or you cooked another lovely, you have a bowl of soup, which has meat stock with fat in it, and you take a tablespoon of lard and you put it in there. or maybe 2 tablespoons of lard. It means that there you are. Everything you eat, you're adding fat to. Everything you eat, you are adding fat to. Did I say that? One more time with feeling. 1, 2, 3. Everything you eat, you are adding fat to it. So, do we start at 8 tablespoons a day for adults? No. If we start there, we will be vomiting. We will be really feeling terrible, and you will really not like me or the GAPS protocol. So, let's all start with maybe a teaspoon additional every time that we are having a meal. Yeah? Let's start with a teaspoon once a day additional. Remember, we talked about the Monica Corrado stair-step method, right? Many months ago at this point. So what's the stair-step method? It is look on the side of a staircase. Everybody knows about stairs. What happens? Floor, I'm at a steady level, I'm at 0. I increase 1 teaspoon. I stay there, next level. I stay there at 1 teaspoon, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. Let me increase, right? So we're going like this. Increase, stay the same, increase, stay the same, increase, stay the same. That's how we increase fats. And everyone is different. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's tolerance level is different. Children will take less than adults will in general, for the most part. Okay, so we start with 1 teaspoon additional. We work up to 1 teaspoon twice a day additional, to 1 teaspoon 3 times a day additional. Then we might go to 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, 1, 1. Stay there for a couple of days. Then you go to 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon. Stay there for a couple of days. 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons. Stay there for a couple of days. What's a couple of days? It's as many days as you need to feel comfortable with this new food, with adding additional fat into your diet. For some people, I personally say stay there 2 to 3 days at a minimum, like as a rule. Some people need more, but certainly not less. I don't see people needing less for the most part. So 2 or 3 days on that level, someone's got it, hooray. And then increase, right? And stay that level for 2 or 3 days. Maybe it'll be 5 days. Maybe it'll be a week. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks. Maybe it'll be 3 months. It doesn't matter how long it takes you on that one level before you feel comfortable enough to increase more. It doesn't matter, okay? Entirely up to you and your body. And whatever your body is telling you, we need to listen to. So whatever your body's telling you is correct. And if your body's saying, hey, I need to stay at this level for a week, cool. Okay, body, I'm listening. Excellent. If your body's saying, oh no, I need to stay here for a month, cool. We love it. No problem. Okay, body, I'm listening. I'll stay positive today. Let us listen to the body and hear what it is saying to us and heed what it is saying to us, yeah? So usually, again, we start seeing a lot of healing happen when people can get to 6 or 8 tablespoons additional fat a day. That's fat. So it's butter. I didn't even talk about butter and ghee. Sorry. Let's add that to our list. It's butter, pastured, yeah? Cultured butter. It's ghee, yeah? It's butter, it's ghee, it's lard, it's duck fat, it's chicken fat, it's lamb tallow, beef tallow, bison tallow, pork lard, all of it, coconut oil, olive oil, that's what it is. Now to give you some idea of what 8 tablespoons of fat looks like, that is a stick of butter. So it's about this long. It's got 8 tablespoons, yeah? So that's a stick of butter. Now, do we get there all at once? Again, I'm trying to really be clear. Nope, we don't do it all at once. We start slowly and we work our way up. What about children? We have a mom on here and she's just posted, hello Mia. Update, Brooks passed about 50 to 100 gallstones after eating tons of pork lard the last few days. Woo. Woo-hoo is what I say, Mia, excellent. Thrilled, wonderful, very exciting. So this is Mia's child, and we've been talking about just allowing Brooks to lead. And if he wants lard, let him eat lard. He can eat as much lard as he wants. Children in general, again, will know their capacity. Children in general will know their abilities. They'll know how much they need. They really will. So wonderful that Brooks passed 50 to 100 gallstones. Go, 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 go. The more gallstones you pass, the more healing is happening, the more your digestive system is coming online. Hooray, hooray, hooray. So this brings up this thought, everyone, yeah? How much for small children? As much as they want. Should you limit fat? Nope. Should you limit salt? I know it's a different subject. High mineral salt with no anti-caking agents? Do not limit salt. Do not limit fat for children. Let them have as much as they want. And often, like for Mia, I think, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying, because she posted here, often moms will be like, my child is eating all this fat. Will they be okay? And then dump into the diaper, right? 50 to 100 gallstones. We love it. We're happy. We're thrilled. I hope more adults would, I would love for more adults to do it. It would be just so great. So listen to your children. Make fat available. Put it on the table. Maybe they have their own little table. Sometimes toddlers do. They have their own little table where they can reach and go to sit and everything else. You can put little balls of beautiful pastured butter out. You can put balls of butter and coconut oil that are melon ballers, what I'm saying, balls. You make little melon balls and then you put them in the fridge. Put them out on the table. Let them eat as many as they want, or just pats, cutting little pieces, etc., etc. Good, thank you. Yeah, put it out along with a little bowl of high mineral salt for your child to have salt whenever they want. It's their own bowl. It's a little bowl, maybe this big. They actually yum and keep going. So they can have as much salt as they want, right? They get to lick their finger, put their finger in the bowl of salt, their own personal bowl of salt. Maybe it has their name on it. Maybe it has a little thing that they love. A dinosaur or a train, or maybe it has a rose or a fairy or a unicorn, who knows what. Their own little bowl of salt, their own little plate of fat. Let them have as much as they want. They will self-regulate. And even if they vomit, which I have not heard of, by the way, in many years, over a decade of this, even if they vomit, they're detoxing. I mean, we don't want to see children vomiting because it makes us sad as parents, right? And caregivers. But maybe they just needed to get something out. That's the role of vomiting, folks. It's a little safety for the body. Yeah, that was designed into our into our physical, in the way our physical body works. It's a safety. All right, so what about children? As much as they want. This could be 6 tablespoons a day, pardon me. Could be 8 tablespoons a day. Usually it's somewhere between 2 and 4 tablespoons, so about half of what an adult is going for. But again, do not be concerned about limiting for children. Make sure it's clean fat. Make sure it's animal fat. Make sure they have as much as they want. And adults too. Very, very important. I would love for you all to, if you haven't done it yet, this is your next book to read. Yes. You can also go into all the roles of cholesterol. Remember my book? We love this book. All the roles of cholesterol. Pardon me. Remember, cholesterol is very important for all of your stress hormones. It's what you need. It's fuel for your stress hormones, for your sex hormones. So adrenal stress. None of you are stressed, I'm sure. Joke. We're all stressed. Are you kidding me? For your adrenals, for your sex hormones, for development, sexual development, organ development, gland development, etc. Brain function. We have to have it. Have to have it. So please go ahead and look through the blue book. I think Dr. Natasha might actually, let's just look for a moment, shall we? It'll be fun. I know she goes over it in the hormones chapter on page 64 in the blue book. We know that she goes over food, over in the food chapter, which is what GAPS people should eat and what should be avoided. Starts on page 123. And if you really want to know, I would really suggest that you jump into, put your heart in your mouth. Let's take a look. Cholesterol all over the place. Page 4, 5 to 21, 22 to 32, 34, 37 to 20, 42. Oh, yeah. Lots of things about cholesterol. I love it. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, there it is. Cholesterol, friend or foe. Page 22, the myth. So, read it. If you're afraid of fat, I'm sorry. I understand, since we have lived in a fat-phobic world for a very long time, and we certainly, since the 80s, since low-fat, no-fat became the thing in the 80s, and since this diet-heart hypothesis became, you know, what people believed, which is absolutely ridiculous. Framingham heart study, China study, just ridiculous. In any case, there you have it. If you want to learn more about fats and that they're not going to hurt you, please check this book out. It's all the information is in the yellow book and the blue book, but in the red book, you're really getting some good information. You're getting armed, if you will, with research that you can use to talk to friends, family, doctors, cardiologists, dietitians, etc., about the role of fat in the diet and how it's absolutely critical. Critical, especially to gapsters. And aren't we all gapsters? Yeah. Yeah, we really are. So, all right. So let's just see what's been going on. That's my little talk on fat. I hope it was helpful. Let's see who came in since. Howdy, la la la. I love Vermont. Please give Vermont my best, Allie, will you? I love Vermont. It's a green place, and green is my favorite. Hello, Annika. I didn't see you jump in. Hello, Gladys. Saludos from Peru. Saludos. I've been there. I've taught there in the Sacred Valley. Long time. Probably 5 years ago now. Maybe 6. Hello. Beautiful country. Peru is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Why do we love Peru? So many reasons. One of the reasons is that they do not import food from the rest of the world. Amen. At least they didn't then. So they're growing all their own food, and that is excellent. All right. Okay, let's see. La, 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 la. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to take the fat questions first. So, okay, hello, Edil. I hope I said that correctly. How about bone marrow fat? Yes. Bone marrow fat. Oh, bone marrow. I'm telling you, that is like superfood, superfood. And I really actually encourage you all to take the bone marrow, cook the bone marrow, take it out, soften some butter, and make bone marrow butter. Phenomenal, delicious, amazing, incredible. Anyway, is it stronger than other fats? My son had a rush. That recipe's on my website also, simplybeingwell.com. Is it stronger than other fats? My son had a rush on his back and chest and also on his cheeks. It's very strong. Bone marrow is a very, very wonderful superfood. Again, as with everything on GAPS, folks, this may be my mantra. After I went ahead and wrote my book on meat stock, and that GAPS is all about meat stock and not bone broth, which you all know by now, I hope. My next mantra is little tiny bit. Whenever we bring in any new food on the GAPS diet, we always start with just a little bit. So bone marrow, yeah, I don't know if your son had it before, but certainly a little bit, like a teaspoon, is a nice place to start. Some people like to start with 1/4 of a teaspoon, 1/2 a teaspoon, the amount that fits on the head of a pin, whatever works for you. So yes, it's okay. You had a little bit of a flushing on his back and chest. It's fine. As long as he's still happy, healthy, well, happy and right. Folks, let me talk about that for a moment. Very important to watch our children as they're on GAPS and watch to make sure that they are happy, laughing, full of energy, playful. If they are, you are on a great trajectory, meaning you're on the healing trajectory. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have healing crises. That doesn't mean you're not going to have times when the face flushes or they get eczema outburst or they get diarrhea. They are. But as long as our children are happy and playing and engaged in life, that means we're in the right direction. Now, some children are not like that because they're very, very sick. And they're very, very tired and they don't have energy. And the more that we work with them with detoxification, right? The more detox things we do for them, we put them in one of the 5 detox baths, which is on, I did Facebook Live on, you can find that. It's also on my YouTube channel, Monica Corrado, the 5 detox baths. So the more we support them, their detoxification pathways, then the faster they will heal, the faster they'll get their energy back. Enemas, yes, enemas, detox baths, walking on the earth with bare feet, sunbathing, getting out in the sun, oil pulling, all sorts of wonderful things we can do. When we're toxic, we're tired. We get very tired. Right? When we're toxic, we're tired. So support those detox pathways and your children and stay the course and stay on the diet and off we go. Yeah? Let me talk about that too. And then I'll look at the rest of the questions. So I will often see things like, I've been on the diet for 4 months and I haven't seen anything happen yet. Or my son's been on the diet for 10 months, or my daughter's been on the diet for, 6 months or 2 years. And the reality is that healing takes time. Healing takes time. The GAPS diet is not a silver bullet. The GAPS diet is not a pill that you take. Right? The GAPS diet's not a pill, meaning we're all used to in the Western world, and I'm generalizing here, but it's my understanding and belief from being in this healing game. Oops, can't say that. Being in this alternative healing modality game for 20 years, more than 20 years. Yeah? That healing takes time. We are not... Americans and the Western world are used to taking a pill and having the symptom go away. And that's not what food does. Food is slow. Food is steady. Food goes in and helps you rebuild all the systems that have been broken, that were either broken upon birth or broken after, we ate bad food and we had glyphosate and we had GMOs and we lived under chemical, entrails, those all the chemicals in the air and in the water. Yeah? So healing takes time. GAPS is a way of life. Yes, it is definitely a healing protocol. Yes, people heal and then quote unquote get off the GAPS diet. They do. Are we meant to be on it? Is it like you have to be on it for the rest of your life? No. But I have to say there are many, many people who feel so much better eating GAPS style. That means no processed foods, all organic foods, lots of ferments in their diet, good animal fats, clean eggs and clean roasts and clean, stocks and things like that. So I just want to say, keep the faith, even when your children have healing crises, even when you do, even when you feel terrible and you just had a huge die-off reaction because you went too fast. No problem. We're in it for the long haul. We're in it for healing. We're in it for rebuilding. We're in it for supplying the body with the nutrients it needs in order to thrive. Rebuild and thrive. That's what we're going for. All right. Okay, so Faria says, hi Monica, what about black seed oil? Can we include it in GAP's fat protocol? Black seed oil is a newish, hello Mara, mwah, thank you for all the hearts. Black seed oil is a newer oil. It's a plant oil. I would, you can add it in as one of the seed oils that Dr. Natasha talks about. She talks about it in the yellow book under fats, that we should all be having some seed oils, right? Let me see if I can find it for you. Un momento, por favor. So that would be, la la la. I'm going to sing to you while I'm looking. La la la. I'm not really being very, very efficient at looking here. Tell me about the oils. One more moment. Hold on. Sorry. It's in the yellow book. I'm just going to put under oils. So HIJKLMNOP. Olive oil. Let's look at 265. Let's go there. Shall we? So those who have their book, that's grand. Those that don't, no problem. We'll look for it. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, she's drawing pictures. Okay. Wonderful. She's talking about, yeah, fats, the good and the bad. Yellow book. Okay, so on page 272, to summarize, GAP's children and adults should have a group of essential oils supplemented. This does not mean lavender, folks. Okay? Essential oils that smell beautiful. These are a good seed nut oil blend. Number 1. Number 2, cod liver oil. We all know about that. Number 3, fish oil with a higher ratio of EPA to DHA. Okay, she does not talk about black seed oil, but I would include it in that, Faria. I would include it in that. Right? So, depending on the age of the child, start with a very small amount, a few drops, and then slowly build up the dose to 1 to 3 tablespoons a day. And then there's something about children 18 months and under. GAP's adults start with a teaspoon a day, slowly increase to 4 to 5 tablespoons a day. See what I'm saying, folks? We need to have a lot of fat. Okay. You can make sure it's clean, make sure it's cold pressed, make sure it's in a dark bottle and from a good company, and you can definitely get that in there. Okay. So the blue. Okay, yes. Gladys, I know. I have asked about, can we translate the Blue Bush book into Spanish? Working on it. I put that in. I let Dr. Natasha know, and everyone knows we want it in Spanish. Absolutely. Okay. Faria asks, can we give animal fat lard first thing in the morning on an empty stomach? Probably not the best idea. Really, the first thing in the morning, we're having some water with a squeeze of lemon and our probiotic if we have one, if we're taking one, right? And then fats, I would wait a little bit until the digestive fire has started moving, so like after 10 a.m. Okay, Christina asks, hello, Christina. How do you incorporate 8 tablespoons via food? I think I have a hard time. Yeah, so again, I thought I talked about this. So how do you incorporate 8 tablespoons of fat, additional fat? Every time you have a mug of stock, add in additional fat. Every time you have a bowl of soup, additional fat. A bowl of stew, additional fat. This is my hand. I'm like going into the bowl, the jar of fat, and putting it in there, right? Or stirring it around, right? So every time you have a stew, a casserole, a mug of stock, right? A bowl of soup. Yes, every time you have vegetables that you've cooked for GAPS, if you're on full, more fat, more fat. Of course, if you're eating salads, if you're on full GAPS diet or stage 4 and beyond, olive oil all over the place. So you're just adding more fat, that's all. And then you absolutely can just eat it on your own. So that is the beginning of the blood sugar stabilizer, which we all know Dr. Natasha talks about. People call it fat bombs. It's so funny. She never said that. But it's pastured butter and raw honey. You can also make coconut oil and raw honey. You can also make pastured butter and coconut oil and raw honey. You can eat them all day. So that's how we get it into our diet. I hope that's helpful. Hello, Carol. Carol's here. Hi, Carol. Okay, let's see. Let's see what this says. All right, let's see. No. Is it possible for the videos? Yes. Okay. It's really funny. I took 4 years of Spanish I'm Italian, but I took 4 years of Spanish in high school. So I'm able to figure out what you're saying. Can I put subtitles in Spanish? I don't know. But I do have a student, client. Anyway, I do have someone who would like me to translate everything I do into Spanish. And so we're going to be working on that. Okay, let me make a note. I'll make a note. Gladys, here we go. Subtitles in Spanish. Question mark. The other thing I'm really excited, I don't know if I should announce this or not. I'll announce it later. I'm going to start translating my book into other languages. Okay, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Great reminder to give the body time on gaps. Yes. Dawn Marie. Who's Tyra Twist Amrain? I don't know. Anna Maria. Hello, Anna Maria. You're welcome, Faria. Okay, who's got any other questions? I think I covered everybody that asked a question so far. Does anyone have questions about anything on gaps? Anything about cooking for gaps? Anything about fat and gaps? Whatever. Who's got a question? You can go ahead and put it in there. And hello, Charmaine. Welcome. Okay, Charmaine is a newbie. Can you explain more about the GAPS diet? Yes. Here's my suggestion. Well, my first question is, I'm hoping. I've now made it required for everyone to read at least the yellow book before they come into the group. So my question, Charmaine, is have you read the yellow or blue book? So we call gut and psychology syndrome, put it back together, the yellow book, and we call gut and physiology syndrome the blue book. Have you had a chance to read them? I hope so. Okay. So for everyone that's new to GAPS, no! How did you get in? Sorry, you're welcome, of course. All right, the first thing I'm going to say, Charmaine. 1, read one of the books. Start somewhere. Read as much as you can. Even if it's just a few pages every night, that's just fine. 2, go to either past events on this page or go to my YouTube channel, Monica Corrado. I did a Facebook Live, which was about 20 or 30 minutes, where I explained the GAPS diet. It's really, really, Anna Maria wants the blue book into Romanian. You're so fabulous. Okay, here we go. All right, let me go back here. So I would go to, I explain what the GAPS diet is. It's called Basics of the GAPS Diet, or it's called The 4 Pillars of GAPS. Please do go there, watch it. It's only maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes where I explain all of GAPS, what it is, how it works in general, so that you have some good basics. I would go there. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead into that today, but I would love for you to watch my video on the GAPS diet, the basics of the GAPS diet. I did it probably 4 or 5 weeks ago now, 2 months, I don't know. Check it out. Welcome. All right. Carol says, husband just had surgery, ruptured his Achilles. All right. Best things to help recovery. Carol, you know the answers. Carol, are you a CGP, right? Or is it a CGC? I can't remember who's where. But in any case, so everyone, if you've ruptured a tendon, first of all, I'm sorry to hear. God bless you. God blessings for him. Tendon is connective tissue. So what does he need? He needs connective tissue. He needs lots and lots of connective tissue. That's what he needs. Plus, so in the GAPS diet, that is, right? That's chicken skin, it's tendons, it's cartilage, it's very, very gelatinous meat stock. Plus, make sure he's having a lot of sauerkraut. Because in order to get collagen to weave together, we need vitamin C. And the best C, the most bioavailable C, the most complete C in terms of food is sauerkraut. So you could make those fabulous nibbly bits, nibbly bit bombs, I'm going to call them. So sorry. What is that? That's all of the connective tissue that you whir around and you freeze in little, right, in ice cube trays. You could also go ahead and make him a very, very gelatinous chicken feet stock. And then take that stock and put it into things. I talked about this on the page just yesterday, might have been 2 days ago. So just everyone, use the search function, please, on the page. You can just search chicken feet. You can search chicken feet stock. You can search beet kvass for other people. You could search die-off. I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff on the page. There's a lot there, a lot of wisdom, a lot of sharing. Please go ahead and check that out. So that's what I would say is going to be the best for his recovery. Yes, CGC. Woohoo! All right, Carol. All right, Charmaine. Excellent. Please go ahead and watch that. It's easy, I think. I did a good job, I hope. And explaining. And then people could, then you can ask more questions after you've seen that. Good, good, good. We need books in Lithuanian. Got it, Christina. Okay. Blue book into Romanian. All right. We get to Adil. Okay. My son used to be obsessed with ghee, and then I introduced tallow. Then he stopped craving ghee. So my question is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference between all the fats. There's 2 resources that I would suggest to you that will talk to you more about the fats, types of fats. One is called Know Your Fats. Know Your Fats by Mary Enig. It's a book. It's by a lipid chemist. She was lovely. Mary Enig, Know Your Fats. You can get it used, read it, etc. What's another good resource? Nourishing Traditions Cookbook by Sally Fallon and Mary Enig has a 80-page introduction to food and fats in it. Yeah, where she talks about fats. So why would your son go from ghee to tallow? They have different degrees of saturation. They have different types of fats in them. And yeah, just trust it. Trust your son, whatever he wants in terms of fat. Christina says, I read that seed oils are not okay to eat. I can't remember. Can you tell me why they're recommended or what good they do? Again, I would go right back to here, which is called, please everybody read Dr. Natasha's chapter on fats, the good and the bad. Yeah, fats, the good and the bad. And let me see if I can find it in here again. Really important. She goes all through it. It has to do with omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9s. Does your brain get enough of... it's so funny that she doesn't have it listed here. Gut, brain, blah, 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 schizophrenia, epilepsy. Oh, there it is. Sorry, wrong page. 255. Please, everyone, go read about the fats, the good and the bad. Why do we need them? I'm going to read just something. Page 257. The most important fats for GAPS patients, which should be consumed daily and which should constitute the bulk of all fat consumption, are animal fats. Fats in fresh meats, fats rendered from meats, dairy fats, butter, cream, and ghee, and fats in egg yolks. Animal fats contain largely saturated and monounsaturated fatty acids. Okay. So it's fabulous. She's got so much on this about what. Let's talk. She's got stuff about cholesterol. 260. Foods rich in cholesterol. Alrighty then. And then when we talk about seed oils, really, Christina and everyone else, it really has to do with the essential fatty acids you can find, which are omega-3s, omega-6s, it's also omega-9s, Really, really important. Look at that. GAPS patients, this is page 267, yellow book. GAPS patients are almost routinely deficient in these nutrients, so that it is difficult to predict, not difficult to predict that their bodies will not be able to convert omega-3 LNA from flax oil into EPA and DHA. So these are about EPA, DHA, etc. It's all about brain food. Seed oils have brain food. Okay, folks? So make sure that they, again, are good quality, dark bottle, cold pressed, la la la. Check it out. Okay. Sarah, hello Sarah. Would you say lamb tallow is better than chicken fat? Nope. Is it good to have both? Yep. I cannot tolerate beef tallow right now, so I'm looking at other types of animal fats. Perfect. I am going to leave the chair for one moment, so hang on. Hang tight, everybody. I want to grab this book. I'm still talking to you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay. All right. So I want to show you this book. I came back. Hey, she's back. Here's the book. Oops, bonk. Nourishing Traditions. Sally Fallon. All right, so what do I love about this? I love so many things. This is the book I started teaching from. So in her introduction, this is fabulous, folks, really fabulous. Dr. Sally Fallon, the president of the Weston A. Price Foundation, talks about fats for page 4 through page 20, 16 pages. And she talks all about the different, here, let's just talk about it for one moment. I think it'll be helpful. Ready? Okay. Do I think one is better than the other? No. They're really, each fat gives a different type or a different combination of fats. And so your body loves lamb tallow, but it doesn't like beef tallow. No problem. Great, go with lamb tallow, no problem. Let's talk about this. Here we go. Chicken fat, page 18 in this book, is about 31% saturated, 49% monounsaturated. Look at that, containing moderate amounts of antimicrobial palmitoleic acid, and 20% polyunsaturated, most of which is omega-6 linoleic acid, although the amount of omega-3 can be raised by feeding chickens flax and flax meal. Woohoo! Chicken fat. Oh my goodness. Okay. Beef and mutton tallow, she calls it mutton instead of lamb, that's fine, are 50 to 55% saturated. So look at that. Chicken fat is 31% saturated. That's why it's liquid, or tends to be more liquid at room temperature. Yeah? Beef, mutton tallow, 50 to 55% saturated, 40% monounsaturated. La, la, la. How do you like that? Oh my goodness. Traditional cultures value these fats for their health benefits. They are a good source of antimicrobial palmitoleic acid. Woo! So I really tell you, it's so cool to learn all of these things. What is in these things, right? Different fats. I'm telling you, what is in flaxseed oil? La, la, la. Look at that. Palm oil is about 50% saturated. Coconut oil is 92% saturated. Yeah. And over 2/3 of that is what we call MCFAs, which is medium chain fatty acids, also called medium chain triglycerides. So that's where you get MCT oil. It's also MCFA. Anyway, really, really, really cool. That information is worth, this book is, and it's full of great recipes. All right. I hope that was helpful. All right, what else have we got? La 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 la. Have you ever had a patient with an arachnoidean cyst? No. I have not. But cysts, people, I just want to say, again, this is my training. This is outside of GAPS. my training is that cysts can only operate when the body does not have, or show up when the body does not have enough iodine. So I suggest all the adults in this group go off and do the iodine patch test. Dr. Natasha has it in both she calls it iodine paint. I call it iodine patch. It's the same thing. You're painting a patch of iodine, 2%. Lugol solution, and in the blue book, she's got it all nice and, where is it? Where are you, darling? Anyway, in the blue book, she has it, iodine patch test. That's what we're looking at. Go check and see if you have enough iodine. I'm betting the vast majority of people in the world do not. 67 to 70. 67 to 70. Here we go. We're getting there, aren't we? 67. It's under the hormone chapter in the blue book. Okay, there you go. So you can see the whole thing. She outlines what is the iodine patch test, iodine paint. It's right there in the box. Take a look. Hi, Selma. Good to have you. Woo-woo. Hi, Monique. Hello. Okay, let's see. Sarah says, so fast. You're welcome. I love Sally's information. Okay, let's see. Joanna says, I purchased beef tallow and noticed that it was yellower than usual. Grass-fed beef tallow should be yellow. Great, great comment, Joanna. Okay, if the cows have been fed grass, they've been grazing on grass, their tallow, their fat, even when you have a roast or you have a steak or you have anything else, should be yellow, not white. White means grain-fed. Okay. Okay. It was not solid. I've not seen this before either in the time I've using tallow. Is there something wrong with tallow? No, yellow tallow is correct, and it should not be 100% solid at room temperature. It should be just a little bit. Remember, it's only 50 to 55% saturated. That means it will not be hard at room temperature. It will be a little bit soft. So yeah, really good, Joanna. Did everybody get that? Tallow from grass-fed animals should be yellow, or at least yellowish. If it's white, you got to go, what were these cows, bison, lamb, sheep? What were they eating? Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, Joanna, you're in the program right now. It would be great for you to grab either Know Your Fats or Nourishing Traditions if you don't have it. Really good for you going forward. Okay, everyone, that's what we've got on fats. What else did I want to say? Oh, I have one more thing to say. Maybe we should talk about GAPS shakes next week, but I'm going to talk about them right now. GAPS milkshakes have whole eggs in them. If you are doing just egg yolks, you are not doing a GAPS milkshake. Please, people. The first time Dr. Natasha wrote about GAPS milkshake is in the blue book. And she has a very, very specific recipe on page 80. She is very clear. To this juice, I add 1 to 2 raw eggs, the yolk and the white. They have very specific things. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm finding a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I'm doing the GAPS milkshake, doing yolks. No, yolks and whites. Must tolerate raw egg yolks and whites in order to do a GAPS milkshake. All right, let's see. Hello, Alma. Great. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for visiting with me and coming on out today. I will see you next week. Same GAPS time, same GAPS channel. Yeah, 11:30 Mountain Time. That's 11:30 Colorado time. Tuesday, 1 week from today. And I look forward to seeing all of you. Please do put your questions on the page. Tag me. And do look through the other events. The past events is where all these videos are, folks. I try to put a description of what I taught so you can find what you need easily. Yeah, go there. And please do remember to search the page for questions and answers and discussions on topics that that you're thinking about. Okay, because there's a lot of great information on the page at this point. Hello, Caroline. Hello, Shannon. All right, everyone. Be well. Take good care of you. And we'll see you next week. Bye now.